Hey there, I'm back. I'm live. I had to get definitely some fluff and buff going. And I've got my hand raised. Hey, Scientology up north. Hola, hola, hola. Hi, Irish Mart. Hi, Mandy Me. I'm surprised they had it the other day. 10:15? No, it's supposed to be at 10 o'clock. Just they had switched it the other day because they had to say it was an emergency meeting or a special meeting because they screwed up and didn't get the agenda out on time. Hey, Joe. So I do believe um, I might have screwed up on my. Let me go back to my content. I put the wrong. I grabbed the other day's agenda by accident. Let me go back and fix that. New slide.
Big check. Yeah. Ring of 5.
I'm fixing it. I'm fixing it. I was in a hurry, and that's what I get for being in a hurry. Oh, crap. Edit. Okay, Amy M. Yeah, I was in a hurry because I just rushed in out of the restroom, and so I threw up that thumbnail and grabbed the wrong one, so I just changed it to the correct one. And should anybody want to join that needs a link, let me copy the link. That's okay, and I'm sorry your arthritis is acting up today, Mandy Me. Lots of good thoughts and prayers of healing for you. I have not heard from Audit yet this morning. Of course, I didn't the other day either. I know she's sometimes a late riser, especially when she was up. I'll just tell her that I'm live just in case she wants to hop on here to talk while she's, because I'm going to presume she's not going there. So I was thinking this morning, what do you guys think about nobody showing up Monday for the meeting? Or all of us showing up, but nobody commenting. Or all of us, when we comment, say, we're giving you the silent treatment, something like that. So that way they know that we're there, but we're not really there. You don't listen to us anyways, so we're not going to say shit. Kind of a point of rebellion. I don't know. That I really truly think that they're kind of proud that they have people coming to comment. Because before we started commenting, they probably got, I know when we first started, there was maybe 2 of us. Yep, I'm already dialed in too. There's sometimes Goat Puppet would show up or F-Bomb Guy, but other than that, nobody ever went to these dang meetings. Just a thought. It kind of would be a protest within a protest, Mandy Me. Kind of like a sit-in. There you go, Joe. Yeah. Well, you only get a minute on this one, so you'd only have to be silent for a minute.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We'll get started shortly. For those joining us on the Zoom platform, please raise your hand if you have public comment. For those joining us in person today, if you're here to provide public comment, please fill out a comment card in the back of the room and bring it up front, and we'll get started shortly. Thank you. I'm going to go through. I see some hands raised on the Zoom, so we'll go through in order once we get started, but just please remember, if you would like to provide public comment, please make sure your hand is raised on the Zoom platform. Thank you.
The other thing I'm thinking of is if we all just went quiet.
Before we get started, we're going to I'll go through the Zoom platform and see, check who has their hand raised for public comment. Caller, Amy's iPhone, are you here to provide general public comment or comment on our agenda items today?
General public comment.
Thank you. Caller, Yvonne, are you here to provide general public comment or comment on our agenda items?
General comment and agenda item 1.
Thank you. Caller, Mona M, are you here to provide general comment or comment on any of our agenda items today?
Good afternoon. Good morning. General public comment, please.
Thank you. And last hand raised, I see caller Mirjam. Are you here to provide general public comment or comment on our agenda items?
Yes, general public comment.
Thank you, caller.
Good morning, Peter. I not hear no audit, and she's not texting me. I'm putting you on mute for a second. I'm a caller.
Ready? Let me put us into record mode and then we can get started. All right.
Recording in progress.
Welcome everybody to the Board of Public Works meeting for Friday, January 10th, 2025. Ms. Zatorsky, if you'd like to take roll and establish quorum for us, please.
Great. Good morning. Thank you, President Corsan. Taking roll and establishing quorum. We're joined by President Corsan, President Pro Tem Grant, Commissioner King, and Commissioner Mitchell, and we have a quorum.
Thank you. We'll start with general public comments, which is an opportunity for the public to address the board on public interest items and will be provided 1 minute per person for a cumulative of 10 minutes. for the general public comment segment. Testimony shall be limited in content to matters which are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. The board may not take any action on matters discussed during the public comment period. And we have on hand with us our city attorney, Adina Hoppenstand, to ensure public commenters stay on topic. Ms. Zatorsky, if you'd like to open up our general public comment.
Great. It looks like all our commenters are on the Zoom platform today, so we'll get started with the folks that have their hands raised. Caller Amy's iPhone, you'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Hi, I'm very upset because my last comment about the water was wasted during the summer when the Scientology protesters were on Fountain Avenue, and you allowed them to get away with wasting over 100,000 gallons of water. And you still have the planters up, which is blocking fire access. You have fires going on and you're doing nothing about it. It's unbelievable. You guys, you're going to have blood and soot and ash all over your hands. You're as incompetent as your mayor. You all need to be resigning or be recalled or do something, because you're letting a cult get away with things that none of us would be able to get away with. And they're endangering everybody. They're endangering you too and your children if you don't do something. Bye.
Next caller, Yvonne, you'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Yes, the December 18th meeting minutes are on the agenda and they are already recorded in the archive. Once again, this is a problem. You know the complaint, you're ignoring the complaint. You will be having these issues raised to the grand juries, civil grand jury, criminal grand jury, inspector general's office, state attorney general, and so forth. In addition, Scientology has 2 or 3 pending special events. Given their practice of misusing the special events permits and lying to the security and the LAPD, you are emboldening their behavior, and by limiting the public access to the terms and conditions of the permit, your awareness of this makes you and the city liable for the legal and financial fallout.
Mona, you'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you so much. I wanted to remind you of the importance of the fire lane that is on L. Ron Hubbard Way and why we keep talking about it. Just yesterday, the day before, there were plenty of cars that were left in the middle of the road and emergency vehicles couldn't get through. They had to bring a very large grader in to get rid of those cars. People are people, and when there's an emergency and an evacuation order, you're not going to take the time to find keys to move cars, besides new ones that are going to be left there. Shame on you. You guys need to make sure that those emergency lanes are open and clear and the planners are gone. Thank you. I yield back my time.
Thank you, caller. Next hand raises caller Mirjam. You'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you. I'm calling today to address a pressing matter that I'm sure is high on your list of priorities. The mysterious non-ADA compliant planters, or are they cleverly disguised barricades lining the illustrious L. Ron Hubbard Way? These containers, which serve as a delightful obstacle course for anyone with mobility challenges, seems to have sprouted with remarkable convenience in front of Church of Scientology. Curious, isn't it? But that's not all. I must commend your efficiency in expediting permits for events on this street, where armed guards, with, shall we say, very creative ways of handling peaceful protesters. It really begs the question, is the Public Works Committee in a competition to see who can outdo the church in clearing the public spaces? Or perhaps, dare I ask, has collaboration been forged? Please prove me wrong by doing the unthinkable, enforcing ADA compliance and reviewing the legitimacy of these questionable permits. After all,
That's 1 minute. Next hand raise is caller Zoom user. You'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Yes, this is Audit LA. We've just gone through a very harrowing few days. And I wonder how much of this, the responsibility of what happened of running out of water falls on this commission. I know you guys are new but you're gonna be the faces that have to confront it. And I wanna go by what Gigi was saying the other day. She's right. You're not allowed to take action on on non-agenda items, but you are allowed to give updates per the Brown Act. You are, Mr. President, sir, we have been asking for months now for what is being done, what is going on, what is being said, and you are allowed to update us. The attorney can look it up in the Brown Act, because I don't think they really know it too well, because I keep seeing too many Brown Act violations that are allowed to continue. You are allowed to give us updates. That is allowed. And we are asking for an update. And I have been saying for months now, too, with all this, like, what's going on? Why are you guys in such a rush?
Caller Gigi's phone. You'll have 1 minute for general public comment.
Yeah, enough is enough. Get rid of these fucking planners. Like, this is fucking bullshit. Like, it's been fucking months, every single fucking meeting. I can't even talk to you civilly anymore. Like, this is bullshit. Fuck my time. I'm done.
All right, President Corsan, that is the end of our general public comment. We'll check if there's hands raised for multiple agenda items.
Yes, please.
All right, I'm gonna go through. Oh, looks like one more hand was just raised. Did we close general public comment, or would you like to take
Let's
it
go
in?
with general public comment.
Caller Juju, did you have general public comment today?
Yes, please. Can you hear me?
Yes, you'll have 1 minute.
Okay. With the horrifying fires that are going on over there in Los Angeles, I'm watching all this unfold. Are you aware that Scientology believes that they can mentally, with their mind, stop things like hurricanes and disasters? For the hurricane in Florida, they did not even evacuate their buildings. Do you think if they get an evacuation for a fire that they're going to evacuate their people and protect their people? They hide their people. That's the reason for all the planners and all the distractions going on around their building, to hide their people, to hide their crimes. Please do something. These people are in danger. We have friends that have family members that are in there that will not even allow them to contact. They're totally disconnected from the outside world. Most of them probably don't even know about what's going on with the fires. Please do something. These people need help.
All right, that's the end of general public comment.
Thank you. Do we have any public commenters for multiple agenda items?
I see 2 hands raised, so we'll check with caller Audit LA. Do you have multiple items today? Or comment on multiple agenda items today?
Yes, I do.
Is it?
Sorry, I'm like still trying to get over the trauma of what we've just been through.
That's
So
fine.
I am a little shaken today. For number one, all right, it's the same thing, man. Here we go again, from 5:30 up to 8:80. It's just, I want the sidewalk repaired. I'm not seeing a whole lot of sidewalk repairs. And I see this is for all CD councils, so I don't understand why we're not seeing the sidewalk repairs when if they don't have enough money already and we're increasing it, we should be seeing progress, and we're not. So like, where is it being repaired? It's not being repaired anywhere where I'm traversing, and I go all over the place. But again, why can they not stay in budget? This is a huge jump, okay, from 5:30 to 8:80. Why are they allowed to come in and say, oh, yes, this is how much we need, right? Because we get the low bid, right? You take the low bid. And this is what's happening. You're taking the bid. Oh, I got the bid because I bid 5:30. And so you give it to them, knowing full well that they're going to come back, I guess. And then they come back later and say, oh, you know what? We underbid. We need $300,000 more now. And you know what? There's probably 10 other companies that bid under the 800 whatever thousand that they're asking for now. But you had to take the lowest bid. It means that these bids mean nothing anymore because they can just come anytime they want and ask for whatever money they really need and get it. And then I want to ask, like, is the low bid like, or you know, like, is this like, is this same companies doing the same thing over and over again? There needs to be an audit. You guys need to audit this yourselves because you are the ones who are custodians of our money. And we need stuff. Look at what we're just going through. We are
Amen,
going
audit.
to
Amen.
need to rebuild a lot of stuff. And we don't have the time or patience or anymore for this shenanigans of these people coming in low bidding and then it's a joke. Please start managing better. Yvonne mentioned this the other day. There's management issues. If it's not you directly and it's the ones under you, but you are the oversight. You are the ones that keep approving all these increases. Where is the enforcement of like, hey, why are you tricking us on these low bids and lying to us and then coming back begging for more money? The people are sick of it. Oh, look, we had to defund our city. We had to defund the fire department because LAPD gets the lion's share of it. And so you don't have the luxury of just adding all this extra money and spending all this money recklessly. Our city is burning down to the ground, literally. We were under evacuation watch. You know how hard it is, someone to evacuate, like in my situation. And this has been a living hell. You guys need to get it together.
Good job,
If the
audit.
callers
Good
can
job.
clarify how many items they're speaking on before they begin multiple agenda item public comment, that will help the meeting run smoother.
I see one more hand raised. Gigi's still having hand raised. Gigi's phone. Did you have a comment on any agenda items today?
Yes, I just want to echo what Audit said. That's all I want to say.
Agenda
That's
items are you speaking on before you begin?
all items, and I just want to echo exactly what Audit said.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, I just want to do all items, and I just want to say everything that Audit said. I just want to echo that and get your act together. Like, this is bullshit. I'm done.
Thank you, caller. All right, that is the end of our multiple agenda items, President Cortez.
Thank you. With that, we'll close general public comment and multiple agenda public comment for today's meeting and proceed to approval of the minutes for Wednesday, December 18th. If there is a second to my motion to approve the minutes. Thank you. Mrs. Torsky, there is a first from myself and a second from Commissioner King.
Take the roll call starting with you, President Corson.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner King.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. When all ayes, the item is adopted.
Thank you. And we'll proceed to item number 1, which is in all council districts, a revised task order solicitation number 34 for SOMAS from the Bureau of Engineering. And we have with us Ms. De La Vega for the presentation.
Good morning. My name is Julia Sanchez de la Vega. I'm the division manager for the Bureau of Engineering Sidewalk Division, overseeing the citywide sidewalk repair program. I'm joined this morning by Natalie Sparrow. She's the city's ADA coordinator for the public right-of-way, helping us oversee and ensure our programs, including what we're coming to you with today, are compliant with mobility disability access standards. So go back a little. This morning, we're looking for an increase to a task order solicitation that was issued to SOMAS earlier this calendar year in May. So what SOMAS was tasked with under the original task order awarded by the board was to support the city on a pilot pedestrian facility inventory and assessment. So to test various technologies that assess the conditions of public right-of-way for pedestrian facilities, and look and recommend a plan for a citywide assessment based on that technology and research in the city of Los Angeles. So in order to complement this work and help achieve the other city goals, at this time, we're asking to increase the budget authority for this task order with SOMAS by $350,000 from $530,000 to $880,000. So what we're looking to do with this is take not only the great work and great assessment data that we're putting into our system, but we'll be want to be sure to track not only existing improvements, but track what improvements are planned for the public right of way and what improvements we conduct in the public right of way in order to provide, a living document and condition status of our public rights of way. So, and we also are mandated under the Willits Settlement Agreement that the city entered to in 2016 to maintain a database of our work in the public right of way called an Access and Construction Database. And we feel there are opportunities to improve this, to make sure it's easier to use, more accessible. And the class council, they've addressed concerns with the usability and really seeing the projects from all departments shown on the database in a uniform, accessible way with, downloading other capacities. And really this is third and foremost an opportunity for us to leverage current city efforts such as Mayor's Executive Directive 9, where the mayor has charged all city departments to be transparent with their data, to collect it not only, but make it available to the public. So the way with SOMAS will support the city in reaching these goals and improving our access and construction database is to really develop the current system, understand not only our access and construction database, but how all departments working and collecting data in the right of way are managing that. Design a way to kind of bring that all together, present that in a uniform format, and put that data uniformly into a cartograph, the city's asset management system that Street Services is establishing, to make it, available and in the same format for all citywide. So they'll go ahead and put together the system based on input from and discussion with all the stakeholders. They'll put together a system and then go ahead and have us test it and make sure it meets our needs and function as desired. Then this will be deployed. And the target is within 1 calendar year. So by the end of 2025, this system will be deployed and fully operational. The TOS does include additional support to provide ongoing technical support, system upgrades through the current expiration of the pre-qualified on-call list in October of 2029. So yeah, it's a total of $350,000 being requested, $304 for the base, or $304,000, excuse me, for the base task, and $45,000 for contingency to allow for flexibility and class council and other stakeholder input in the process. I really want to stress this is, again, Willits settlement eligible. All the work we perform on this task is detailed in the settlement as eligible towards the annual commitment. And it is something that is being requested by the class council who have monitoring rights over our implementation of the settlement. So we look forward, not only will it benefit the city,
that
but
was
work forward to meeting the needs of
ornery.
for the class council as
I
well.
don't know if you guys
I'm
heard
happy
that
to
noise,
address any
but
questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we go to commissioner questions and comments, Ms. Zatorsky, do we have any hands raised on this item?
Yes, we do. We have caller Yvonne who wanted to provide comment on item 1. Yvonne, you'll have 1 minute for item number 1.
Thank you. I'm pleased to hear the promise that this would be a publicly accessible mapping system and that the data will be available. the complete data, I hope, not just a summary. However, the way that it is presented in the agenda packet, those deliverables are not guaranteed. In addition, there is a document reference for review, and no means for the public to review that document is made available. This is not properly prepared as an agenda item or as a contract, particularly when it is a sole source contract. Please revise your submission and do not pass this. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. I also see we have caller Mona M. Mona, can you let us know if you have comment on number 1?
I sure do. Thank you very much. What I would like to discuss on the Willits settlement, that is the Willits, the $1.4 billion ADA Department of Justice settlement about sidewalks, repairs, and all of these items, including this proposal, is obviously going as a credit. I'm not too sure what this data is going to be reporting, but I'm hoping that any current or future items of ADA and anything that's considered under the Willits could be included in that. These planners, just for an example, the planners, the containers that have just dirt and rocks in them that are taking out ADA and the Department of Justice violations on Fountain and L. Ron Hubbard could be, if you remove them, credited towards the Willits $1.4 billion settlement. Just a thought, folks. Thank you, and I yield back my time.
All right, President Corsam, that is the end of our comments, hands raised for folks who have not exceeded their time.
Thank you. With that, we'll close public comment for item number 1. Commissioners, do we have any questions or comments on this one? Commissioner Mitchell.
Thank you. In our briefing last Friday, this was a pilot program, is that correct, Mr. LeVega Sanchez, right?
Task issued to SOMAS back in May was a pilot assessment of the city's pedestrian facilities. This will be this new scope will be a full task that is intended to implement these upgrade or replacements to the database, as well as fully deploy those.
Is there currently an access construction database?
Yes. Yeah, we currently have a website available, or a link via our website, sidewalks.lacity.gov, where you can find the current access and construction database.
Now, is that as to work that has been done?
Yeah, it shows some planned work, but yes, all substantially work that has been completed within the public right-of-way and pedestrian facilities.
So the access and construction databases, I read the Willits settlement agreement was supposed to be placed in effect within 2 weeks, 2 years of the signing of the agreement, which was 2016, correct?
I would have to refresh my memory on the timeline. But yeah, it was expected on relatively short order to be implemented upon the entering of the compliance.
Hey, King's Kid.
So it's the purpose of this
Be
document
right back, you guys.
Is this the access and construction database? Is this the inventory of conditions of sidewalks within the public right of way? I'm not clear as to what was approved in May of 2024.
In May of 2024 was for what SOMAS to support us with the pilot assessment of the city's right of way. So the scope of that project was to test different technologies for assessment of public right-of-way pedestrian facilities such as curb ramps, sidewalk, and crosswalks, and recommend a city or a system and a means and methods approach for a citywide assessment that would collect data and bring it into the city system. So as a part of that, they're also working to ensure that the data is compatible. In Cartograph, they're working to also recommend a sort of global rating system that we could use for rating sidewalk conditions. And so this would be to kind of leverage that effort and bring in to this data the completed sort of city projects and planned city projects as well.
But wouldn't that have already been in place before now?
We do have in place the access and construction database. We have a very good inventory of the work we've done towards the Willett Settlement annual commitment, towards each site, showing photos, showing exactly the work that was completed. And then we provide links and information to other efforts outside of the sidewalk repair program. So this includes the Bureau of Street Services resurfacing projects. This includes capital improvement program projects being delivered by BOE outside of the sidewalk repair program. So be that hillside projects, bridge improvements, street improvement projects. And it provides links to the city permitting data, where folks, of course, private entities, public utilities come in to get permits for work. But you have to kind of look at each link, look at each program. It isn't currently an integrated system that shows the same data. And honestly, there could be improvement on ensuring that planned construction is always included and in a timely enough manner to kind of see it and coordinate with other projects. So it does exist, but the class council feels it doesn't have enough tools to allow them to really see what's happening and monitor the city's compliance. So they've asked us to look to improve it, and we're happy to work with them on that effort on this Willett's eligible expenditure.
And what's the scope of the pilot? You said in a briefing 10 to 15 miles. So this is a pilot project. It doesn't apply to the entire city, correct?
Well, the original scope of the request was for that pilot. So the original scope,
Sorry, you guys.
Awarded in May was for that pilot assessment, but included other elements that I guess weren't pilot. We're proposing.
I'm going to go ahead and close out of that.
Recommendations
They're just
for
yabbling.
a citywide pilot. And
sorry about that, had to run. So yeah, that Willett's decision, the $1.4 billion was a Department of Justice decision saying they have to make repairs and they have to spend so much per year until 2030, which that's only 7 more years, but they have so much they have to spend a year. And that's just bullshit that they could actually move all those containers, credit it a couple of $1,000s. I know it's only a couple of $1,000s that it would take, but it would cost them nothing. It would be cost positive for them. Absolutely ridiculous. Didn't El Sarmento said, didn't the dirt and rocks and the planters come from the construction debris from the work being done in the old tunnels? Have they tested them for asbestos and lead? We have no idea where it came from, but probably, they probably didn't buy the dirt. There was a stabbing also? Oh my gosh. You're right, YRB. And how is making a database making the sidewalk safer? They already have the sidewalk, the LA sidewalk database. They're just putting shit in there to get rid of the amount of money. They passed the minutes that we know of, but they said they didn't when you asked them, Audit. Yeah, it's one big circus rodeo. I agree. Yep, I remember Kelly did do that. December 16th not passed. Aren't those the ones that you question, YRB? Yeah, and Ganja Girl, good on you. I know, Audit. Do you want me to turn them back on? Exactly, YRB. That's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to spend down the money without doing the work. And all of these credits, all of a sudden it's 300,000 to 800,000. Well, damn, they just doubled their investment for the year of the penalties. And Wednesday they didn't do the 16th, but you had mentioned about that. I agree, Audit. Sometimes you need to use those words as a punch. Yep. Hey, Donna. They are. I just have them muted. Here, let me go back to
that recommendation. But with this, with this amendment, the work would sort of come to fruition by December of 2025.
President Pro Tem Brett.
Good morning. Thank you. I have a couple veins I want to look at. This is largely driven by the Willett settlement agreement in terms of what's demanded there by council. Is that correct?
I think within the scope of work for the amendment, will be predominantly to align with what's required under the settlement.
And then if I could ask the ADA coordinator, Natalie, so you were meeting at least annually, if not semi-annually, with class council since the settlement agreement was completed, correct?
That's correct.
I'm just sort of trying to understand the history and how we got to where we are now. Were issues around the database ever raised by class council prior to this year or last year?
I've been with the city for 4 years. So in my experience in the last 4 years, we've met with the class council a number of times.
Right.
And they have raised concerns about the database since I've been here. So it isn't, I wouldn't say it's a yesterday concern. Yes.
And I guess, so we looked at it and last May or prior to May, decided, okay, we have to reconfigure the database, improve it, consolidate it in order to comply both with class council's concerns as well as to give us a better sense of where to navigate in terms of building sidewalks.
Yeah. We're obviously doing this for compliance with the settlement in response to the class council, but the work really does serve the city's interests. The work does serve the city's interests and aligns with the mayor's desire through ED9 to start to collect data in one place and really understand what the agencies are doing out in the public right of way.
So when the May of 2024 TOS came before us, well, back to it, the increase you're asking for today is to include new technologies, assessments, consolidations that were not contemplated last May?
That's correct. So the May contract addresses the pilot inventory and assessment, which Commissioner Mitchell has asked about. And that is the pilot assessment where we made representative samples throughout the city to try and understand how we could do a citywide assessment. What we're here today for is an addition to that contract to work on the access and construction database. They're related, but different, yes.
So what I'm a concern, I think, is no one else is going to be in a position to do step 2 of this, if you will, and then possibly worry about warrant evacuation more than others. Is that it sort of guarantees SOMAS, once they got the May 31st contract, to get this one today and then whatever the next one is, next year. That's the concern I think the SOMAS on the board have.
Yeah, that these issues are, I think interrelated. The Willits Class Council has been very supportive of although not included in the terms of the settlement and in their mind not eligible for settlement funding. They do support and have written memos as such to the council, the city's efforts to perform this this pilot and to perform a citywide assessment of pedestrian facilities. So we the SOMAS, as we see this really as a natural extension of their current scope. And they, as a part of this effort, met with all of the stakeholders, DOT, BSS, and others to kind of understand their systems. So they've done sort of a lot of the work that will be required in this effort is duplicated or aligns with the work they're doing under the pilot assessment. And they have been supported the cartograph, the implementation of that as well on the BSS side. So they are intimately familiar with the city's efforts here. But the intention in terms of, you say, going back to them in the future, is not to have them, we've specifically included in the TOS that they implement a system that is not proprietary, that is not, that the city owns, that we are able to, as needed, sort of change directions and not be locked into a particular service provider.
Thank you. I mean, just as you can surmise, at least my concern here is that we're not giving, like we're voting on A and B, say in today for another project, but then 3 months from now, C and D, which is a logical follows A and D, is voted on again. And really, the contractor who completed A and B is going to be in the best position to be awarded C and D. That's the concern we have in terms of the role that the board has to play in terms of assessing each contract that comes before, why it comes in, if it's actually the best resources or the most transparent way to do our business. So could there have, could have been is, forget the subjective. All right, that's, I'm fine.
Thank you, Commissioner King. No comment. So I just went on the sidewalk.la City, as you know, I love these things, and it links to Navigate LA. But when I go to Navigate LA, I can't pull up the same thing. Is there a phase where we're just going to fold it into the Navigate LA website itself, or is it always just going to be separate?
Yeah, I think, you know, our hope and excuse me, and is to integrate, like currently we have our sidewalk data shown on our website, but not really fully integrated and visible in Navigate LA for others. So we are working to you know, bring that in, and the interdepartmental MOU effort as well. Our GIS group has worked, you know, citywide to make that data more accessible. So yeah, absolutely. We'll want to, you know, have, and it's a system that the city knows and works for us. So I think to the degree possible, we'll want to integrate into Navigate LA. I can't say right now, I guess, to the extent not knowing, you know, kind of the final design. But yeah, absolutely, that's something we'll be working to do to the largest extent possible.
In terms of this one specific, I know Commissioner Mitchell touched on it a little bit. SOMAS has been working on Build LA, this program. Was SOMAS also a part of Navigate LA itself?
I couldn't say for sure. I don't know.
Okay, because I'm trying to get to the intellectual knowledge of working with the city when it comes to so many departments, and building our technology warehouses is not as easy as one would imagine. I've just found that all of the departments and bureaus don't necessarily willfully information share. So SOMAS's experience with that could be helpful. What is this phase 2? I know you're saying in our board report, it still refers to this as phase 1, but you made it sound like this was phase 1 was done and we're going to a different phase. So would we call this phase 2, or are we done and now we're just carrying forward beyond a pilot into an actual program?
I think for phase 2 of the assessment, you know, what's more coined the inventory and assessment effort would be hopefully coming out of the report. So we'll be releasing the report under phase 1 under the pilot in the coming months, and that will provide recommendations for an approach and level of funding for a citywide assessment. And you know, the city of course has at this time a focus on coming international events, including the LA 28 games and the World Cup. So looking, you know, potentially in those areas for the next phase of implementing the pilot. I think that would be what would be deemed as phase 2, and this is sort of a parallel effort to that.
Okay. Commissioners, do we have any other questions or comments on this item? Do we have a motion for this item?
I'll move.
Is there a second? Thank you. Mr. Torsky, we have a first from Commissioner Kang and a second from President Pro Tem Brandt.
All right, we'll take the roll call starting. Oh, there's no public. Oh, we already did public comment, right? On this item?
We already
Yes,
did.
okay, just thanks. We'll take the roll call starting with you, President Corsia.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kang,
Aye.
and Commissioner Mitchell. Okay, 3 ayes, the item is adopted and moves forward.
Of course.
Thank you. We'll proceed to item
I
number
don't
2.
really care for
Thank
item
you.
number 2. I think
Administrative
for item
item
2.
in Council District 14. We do not have an oral presentation for this item. The mayor and city council have approved and authorized the board of
Gonna go back to Liz Gail. It was very informative. It kind of gave us a little bit. So since YRB and Audit and Miriam and Ganja Girl, everybody's on here, what do you guys think about doing Silent Treatment Monday? About when we all call in saying, okay, I'm going to be silent because you guys don't listen to us. So I'm going to be silent for my minute. I agree, Kiara. All we can do is keep trying, though. That's all we can do. Kind of a show of rebellion. Okay. Yep, I think we make a stand Monday. No, they will. Maybe. They might, El Sarmiento. They may just cut it short. Right. Hey, welcome back, Kirby's mom. Okay, well, that was definitely interesting. Audit, you're just waking up, so you probably didn't see. Hopefully, Serge will do a update on the child bride case from yesterday. I think we got somewhere. I think that arbitration was put to bed. We were looking at that earlier, but I'll call you about it. Off topic. That actually would be funny. That'd probably make me laugh. Yeah, it was very interesting, you guys. But I'm gonna go back. I need to go back into the fluff and buff room, you guys. I loves you. I'm going to close the stream down. That way we can put it to leave it just to the Public Works meeting. And I'm gonna hop on somebody else's live. I'll see you guys all later.